at my recruitment journey so far. For those of you who don't know me, here's a little bit about myself. So my journey started in January of 2014. I wasn't looking for something, but I desperately needed something. We were in a place of financial difficulty, but I'd never even heard of network marketing at all. I didn't even know there was possibility to be able to work from home and earn an income. So when I saw one of my old work colleagues using a weight management product, I asked her about that, and that conversation then led to what I was up to. And she shared the business opportunity with me, and I'm so eternally grateful for you for doing that, Gemma, so thank you. And from there, I just saw how much this business could change my life. I did quite a bit of Facebook stalking, as you do. You kind of look for people who've achieved everything that the company says it has to offer to see if these people are real. My husband scrutinised those chairman's bonus checks and said, I don't think those checks are real. It isn't real. Has anyone else's husband done that? So I could see what it was doing for other people, and I just thought, do you know what? We need this. I desperately need something to take this financial pressure off us. So I was prepared to go to work. But I think one of the things that I clearly understood is that you can't achieve some of the bigger things on the marketing plan that the company has to offer on your own. And that's the most, significant thing in network marketing. It is network marketing. So you need a network of people, and that's how the business begins to grow. Can everyone hear me all right? Okay, fantastic. So I knew I had to start sharing that opportunity, and I knew I also had to retail products, and I just got consistent at managing the two really well, and that's how my business began. Since then, we have literally 360-degree transformed our lives. So I started for £800, and we have literally achieved everything on the marketing plan. We've had level 1 chairman's bonus checks, level 2 chairman's bonus checks, and I'm just a firm believer that if somebody like me can do this, I've got no qualifications, I've got dyslexia in maths, anyone can. And I think sometimes we can overcomplicate this business. And I think you just have to keep it really simple and put that activity in. So I'm going to talk you through my recruitment journey. But before I do that, one of my slides that I wanted to put on today to try and get you to think about is 2 scenarios, because we've got the most incredible opportunity ahead of us. But what are you willing? What do you want? Because you've also got one life as well. So who would choose this job? So these are the job requirements. This was a nursing job, actually. I picked it off the internet. But you need experience. You're going to be earning $25,000 to $45,000 a year, 40 hours a week, 4 weeks paid holiday, and your 40 hours per week will include evenings, weekends, night shifts and bank holidays. Does that appeal to anybody in the room? Not one person. You? And I'm not criticising a job. I did work a job for 15 years. But when I kind of look at that and then you look at this is what blew me away, and this is what I wanted, and I'm sure this is what everybody in the room wants. Look at what this second job has to offer. You don't need any experience. You can earn whatever you want. You can choose your own hours. You can travel the world. You can have a share of company turnover, and you can have a car allowance. Now, how much more appealing is that? Isn't it? So that is what each and every one of us have got our hands on. But it is a bit of a job as well, because you have to put work in. You can't just look at something like that and go, oh, amazing, let it all just come to me. That doesn't happen. So I think what you've got to understand is it takes work ethic to achieve that. But if you're prepared to put that in, you will absolutely have it. But that that is basically what Forever offer us. When you write it down as a bit of a what's available, what's out there, that is what you've got. So for me, when I got started, I knew one of the things that I had to get really good at is become professional at what I was doing. When I saw all of those points on there, I knew it wasn't going to happen just from giving it a go. I had to take it really seriously, and I had to master the skills and gain the knowledge to be a professional. And that is like serving an apprenticeship in a job, isn't it? So for me, there was nothing more powerful than knowledge, and I knew one of the first things that I needed to do, not being that clever on numbers, and when I saw all those circles with percentages, I said to Gemma, how am I ever going to sit down and explain that? But one of the most powerful things that I did right in the early days was attend a business presentation every single week, and I've continued to do that every single week. The only time I'm not at a business presentation is if I'm not in the country, but I also made sure that when I was at home in small pockets of time, I listened to this presentation over and over and over and over again, because I had to get in front of people to share the business opportunity and invite people to take a look. So that was one of the main things for me in the early days that allowed me to be able to invite people to take a look, sit down with them either at a business presentation or face-to-face. So you need to get that knowledge, and you've got all of the tools there available. So it's just deciding what you want from the business. So this is just some statistics on my sponsoring over the first kind of 3 years in my business. But, you know, like I've just said, it starts with you. It's learning that knowledge, and you're inviting people to take a look at the opportunity. So in 2015, I sponsored 35 people. So from the start of 2015, I had sponsored 35. What that led to was duplication. So it starts with you. If you're not bringing people in, your business isn't really going to grow because there's nobody there to duplicate it for you. So you need to help people to do that. That led to 321 team members. In 2016, I sponsored 25, and we had then a team of 2,100. And then in 2017, I sponsored 27, and by that time, we had a team of just under 3,500. So that, you know, I started at exactly the same place with that box, but it has to start with you doing the do. And I think you look at that, if somebody had said to me, you know, even the middle of 2014, in 3 years, you'll have 3,000 team members, I would have laughed. You just don't believe it's possible, do you? But it is. It really, really is. And I think for me, I'm quite a competitive person as well, and I like to go for all of the incentives that Forever put on. And obviously every year, if you sponsor 2 people and achieve 24, you get the Network Marketing Professional Level 3, which is the yellow suitcase. So every year I set myself a recruitment goal to achieve that, to lead by example. And what I would say is that everybody in my team who has achieved that as well went on to become Eagle managers, chairman's bonus qualifiers, because sponsoring people into your business is the bloodline of your business. Okay? Okay, so I chose this quote. All you need is a path, the roadmap, and the courage to press on to your destination. And I think sometimes we have some fear because we don't know what the path and the journey is ahead of us. We don't know what's down that road. Like I've just said, if somebody had said to me, this is where you'll be in 5 years' time, you just can't see it and you don't necessarily believe it. It's like driving a car on an evening and in the dark. You sometimes can't see the road ahead of you, but you trust the car's going to move. You trust that the road's there. You've got the street lights guiding you. The road is actually there. And I wanted to kind of get you guys thinking about this, okay? Because sometimes you can't see the road, and you maybe sometimes don't believe that it's possible to happen as well. But imagine if I came into your house on the 1st of January and I had a glass box with £20,000 in that box. And we were going to place that box in your kitchen for you to look at every single day. And if I said to you, all I want you to do every day for the rest of this year is invite 5 people to take a look at your opportunity. And if you do that every single day, we'll unlock that box on the 31st of December and that £20,000 is yours. Who would do that? You would, wouldn't you? Because you can see it in front of you. You can see it there. But you don't realise by not doing it what you can achieve and what you can get, because that is what it can bring you. You know, if I go back to that job description of that job and then compared to Forever, it's an uncapped earning. You can achieve whatever it is that you want. In 1 year, Forever paid me what would have taken me 26 years to earn in John Lewis. How amazing is that? That is what each and every one of you have got your hands on. And not only that, it changed the lives of so many people that I'm working with as well. So anyone can have it. It's simple. Don't overcomplicate it. We just have to invite enough people to take a look at our opportunity. That is it. Regardless of the outcome, regardless of what they say, you've got to expect people to say no. Don't go in with the expectation of people saying yes. Have the expectation that people will say no, but actually you've done your job because you've invited people to take a look. And that's all you need to do. I actually myself don't really like to use the word recruitment. I like to word it as my job is to invite people to take a look at what I do. Because I think it takes a bit of pressure off you when you're talking to yourself like that. Whether they choose to do that is entirely up to them. So like I've just said, it does require work. You have got to treat it like a job. And I think this is what I really do. I treat Forever like a job. I work it like a job, like a business. But ultimately, that's given me way more time, way more money, which is, I suppose, is what everybody's in the room for. Choices, freedom, time to be able to travel. And I absolutely love this quote, network marketing is a business of doing a few simple things daily over a long enough period of time. It's not net luck marketing. It's not net dabble marketing. It's not net gamble marketing. And it's not net 1 week marketing. It's network marketing. So obviously your business, like-minded, it started with a who do you know list. So if you haven't got this document and you're kind of cutting corners, it's not going to work. It really isn't. You have to have a list. This is the most powerful thing that you have as a network marketing professional. And it should be a growing document. If you're doing the right activities in your business, this will give you enough to make your who do you know list grow all of the time. So you need to have that list. And it's quite simple. You need to invite 5 people or more, depending on what your time looks like. You know, we're just having a conversation at the back. Even if it's 1 person a day that you're inviting, and that's your level of consistency, do that one. Because if you set yourself up too high and you don't achieve it, you'll feel like you're not getting anywhere, and it affects your level of consistency. I'm totally not following my notes. This is what I do. So you must have this, and you should be using it every single day. So it's not rocket science what I've done to achieve what we've gone on to achieve. It's just following everything that is in that First Steps to Manager book. It really, really is. Time is discipline. So this is, who does have a job? Who does have a job? Just put your hand up. I think probably 90% of people in the room do this around their business. And that's challenging, isn't it? Fitting the time in, juggling everything you get in from work. And, you know, we have to appreciate that not everyone is doing this full time. And I sometimes have to think about that for my team as well. So you need to be really disciplined with your time. And I think the more disciplined that you are, the better results that you will have, 100%. So it's diary planning, using your 7-day plan. And I just wanted to read this little quote out to you as well. If you have a path that you want to follow, you have to implement discipline in your life. Habits are implemented through discipline. Goals will only be achieved through discipline. You make your own rules and you follow them. Start with baby steps and increase over time. And also ensure that your routine matches your vision and goals. So it depends on how much time you actually have available. If you say you want a level 3 chairman's bonus check and you've got 2 hours a week, it's going to take you a lot longer to achieve that if that's all you've got to put in there. And, you know, we were having this chat last night as well over dinner. Sometimes you can really judge yourself on how long you've been in the business. So I'll have conversations with business owners and they'll say, well, I've been in the business for 2 years and, you know, I'm still an assistant supervisor or whatever. But sometimes, have they actually been in the business for 2 years? Have they been consistent every single day for those 2 years? Or is it more like 6 months that they've really worked their business? And that's what you've got to judge where you're at on. So never judge it on the time that you've been in the business. Judge it on the time that you've been most consistent in your business. And that's how long you've actually been in the business for. Does that make sense? Yeah? So we all have the same amount of hours in every day. And we often hear we don't have enough time. But actually, there's 168 hours in a week. On average, we'd spend about 56 hours sleeping, 40 hours working, 35 hours for eating, showering, travelling, going to the gym, taking kids to school, all that type of thing. So what that leaves you with is 37 hours spare every week, which is a huge amount, isn't it? I think that worked out at about 5 hours a day, and you might think, crikey, 5 hours a day? But when you're really disciplined with your time and you map out your diary and then you convert that to your 7-day plan, you will be able to see how you can put this time into your business. And there it is, the 7-day plan. This is something that I really got to grips with this summer. Because again, you can overcomplicate the business and get bogged down. But I went back to my First Steps to Manager book and I read that and I thought, that is the business. Who am I talking to about the business this week? What retailing activities am I doing? Who am I following up with? And what other training and events are going on? So it's simple. And if you're using this, you're on track. You'll see results in your business. If you're not using that and your time isn't disciplined and you're not organised, the chances are you're losing time. And we haven't got time to afford to lose. Every day is gone. Life moves on every day. We're getting older every day, so we haven't got a second to waste. So the more organised you are and the more time effective you are, it will create the choices as to why you've joined the business. So your 7-day plan keeps you disciplined. This is what I've been using this summer, and I'm going to share some results with you from doing this. It keeps you on track and it allows you to see what you're doing this week. Sometimes you might think, I haven't got the time to even write one. You've got to find the time, and Sunday nights are the perfect time to do this. It makes you productive, not busy. Has anyone got that little app on their phone where it tells them how long you spend on social media and how scary is that? It is really scary, isn't it? How much time you can sit and waste just scrolling on social media. So in the summer, I put my phone on aeroplane mode and I literally prospected for 3 hours every day, and I'm going to share my results with you. The more organised, obviously, you are, the better results that you're going to get. I've kind of touched on this with the yellow suitcase incentive, but go for every incentive that the company offer. I think the immediate thing to do is kind of look at something and go, well, I can't achieve that. Well, guess what? If that's what you're telling yourself, you're not going to. You have to tell yourself you can. Even if you get halfway there, you've grown your business. These incentives that the company put on or your team put on grow your business. So you have to grasp them and really want to go for them, because everyone's here today because they want to grow their business. So go for every incentive that the company offers, because that is what it's going to lead to. So everything is possible with a plan. And in August of this year, I was kind of like in a bit of a frustrating part of my business. And I thought, if I sit and be frustrated with myself, it's just going to get worse. And I questioned myself to what gear I was actually in, because I think we can all think that we're working really hard. But when I questioned myself to what gear I was actually in, I was probably only in second gear. But I remember when I started my business, I was in fifth gear. So I thought, I'm going to get myself back into fifth gear. I'm going to do what I should be doing, but I'm going to do more of it. And that's exactly what I did. So in the month of August, I contacted 450 people by using my Who Do You Know list, by using my 7-day plan, and being really consistent. I blocked out 3 hours every day, and I did that in the morning time. So I was always finished by lunchtime, which meant I had the rest of the day with the kids, because obviously it was the summer holidays. 284 people ignored me, but I was actually all right with that, because in my mindset, I set myself up for those no's, because I know not everyone is going to do it. So I'm absolutely fine with that. I got ignored, that's okay. 94 people said no, that's okay as well. It gave me 60 people into my pipeline, which is people who are now interested in the business. The time's not right for them now, but it will be eventually at some point. 3 of them became customers and 9 joined the business. Now, out of 450 people, 9 joining the business isn't a lot, is it really? And I've just been talking to Gemma Russell over there. So she's been doing this as well. And Gemma has contacted 20 people and 2 have joined. So your stats are much better than mine. I need to come and do that in your house. And David's also had some amazing results as well. How many of you sponsored since you've been really up in your gear, using your plan? How many of you sponsored, David? 3.
I'm just about par with you, but I'm okay with that.
Good. So contacted 300 and he sponsored 3. You've just got to keep inviting people to take a look. It's the only way that you're going to sponsor people. So 9 joined the business, and what that led to was this. So we achieved all of the criteria for Stockholm Level 3 in 27 days. Now in August, I didn't even have a clue that this incentive was going to come out. It just naturally happened. When I checked, I thought, yeah, I think I've done Level 3 Stockholm. So look at that, 3 hours a day. Look, it gave me 30 new case credits. And you can see there that 3 of the 9 that I brought in actually duplicated as well. And that's obviously, now we're in November, that's gone on to grow. One lady's just become a supervisor. She's almost qualified for Level 2 Stockholm herself. So the power of getting into 5th gear is phenomenal. That's all I'm going to say. So really question yourself. If there's one thing that you can take away from this session, is what is it that you want? What is your goal for the end of the year? Because how you end the year determines where you're going to start your year. What gear do you want to be in as well? And does that match what you want to achieve? Is it achievable for you? Because if it's not, then you need to decide that. But if you set yourself up too fast and you think, I can't do it because I've got the job, I've got the kids, do what you can manage. But we can always do a little bit more. Wouldn't you agree? Absolutely. So my top tips would be, learn the business presentation, because the quicker that you can get in front of people and be confident at sharing what it is that we have, the better results that you're going to have as well. And it doesn't matter if you think, oh my goodness, I said that wrong, because actually what you've got to remember is that the prospect doesn't know what's right and what's wrong. So be okay with that. The only way that you learn is through making little mistakes as well, and be okay with that. Some of the things I've said in the past I just cringe at now, but it's done us all right. Be passionate in the business, everything that you learn, but most of all, put that into action as well, because it's always great to come to events like this and learn, but you've got to put everything that you learn into action and make an action plan. Be consistent on all of your social media platforms. A lot of these people that joined me recently were right back from 2014, 15 and 16. They weren't all new contacts, but when I reconnected with them and I said, hi, I know I messaged you back in 2014 about an opportunity, I wondered if perhaps it might be right for you now, your circumstances might have changed. If they had a look at me, what they could see was that I was consistent. And that's the power of social media, isn't it? So make sure that you are consistent on there as well. Obviously, getting organised, your 7-day plans are absolutely key. The fortune's in the follow-up. So out of all of that recruitment that happened for me recently, it was all in following people up. Just because somebody says no now does not mean it's a no, for, like, ever. They will join eventually. And I think if I had have been an assistant supervisor this time last year, I spoke to a lady and she said no. Well, she was one of the follow-ups that I did. If I had have quit at that point and thought, well, it doesn't work, or I'd spoke to a few other people and they said no, so I kind of quit on it, she would not have come into the business and she would not be achieving what she's achieved. So you've just got to remember, it's not about you, it's about them. And the time has to be right for them and the business has to be right for them. It's not our job to convince anyone. So please also, when you're sharing the opportunity, take yourself out of it, because it is not about them. It's not about you, it's all about them. And just be yourself, because people trust you. Yeah? Let go of the outcome and enjoy the process. Just have fun. Just think my job is just to share what I do. That's how I get up in the morning. I've just got to share what I do, and I've just got to share some products, help people look better, feel better, and help people to gain control of their finances. If that's what they want, brilliant. We're cooking on gas. That's how we build a business. So just enjoy it. But also get up and show up. You know, you've got to be the best person in your team. If you want to build a team, you have to lead by example. You really do. So you need to be that person listening to the trainings on whatever night of the week your teams do it. You have to be there. You have to be at business presentations. You've got to make the effort to go, because actually, if you're not doing that, how is your business going to be successful? So always lead from the front and show up. Don't deviate away from the first steps to manager book as well. I think, like I just said at the start, we can always overcomplicate what we do. It's simple. We use these products, we share these products, we invite people to take a look at what we do. Keep it really simple. Everyone could pick up a book, regardless of having an upline support or anything, and you could build the most phenomenal business if you just follow everything in that book. You can never fail in forever as long as you're consistent in your daily business building. Take 10 minutes, obviously not now. This is just a quote from the book. Don't take 10 minutes now, Bob will go mad. But take time to consider what you're really working for. Thank you very much.